Hey guys, HW. I'm standing on the corner of Grantham Street and Rowley Street in Burwood. Burwood, a suburb of Sydney, approximately 10 to 13 k's out of the city, so not too far. An easy trip out here on the train from Central Station. I'm staring across at the Methodist Ladies College, which is quite an extensive property. This is the oldest building I could see from the street. But today, and this is a bit of a continuation of a video that I did almost a year ago. It was actually 11 months ago. I was in Strathfield and I was getting around Strathfield having a look at some of the historic places and houses there, especially the houses. And a week or two later, I was supposed to come over to Burwood, which is an adjoining suburb, and do the same here. But for whatever reason, I lost track of it, got busy doing other things, and didn't do it. So today, thanks to Burwood City Council, who have kindly supplied a map on the internet and a bit of an historical trail, we're going to get around and have a look at all these different points. We're going to see some beautiful old Victorian homes and some other historical points of reference. And the temperature today in Sydney is 22 degrees Celsius. The wind from the east at 4 kilometres an hour. It should be quite pleasant walking around today. So I'll get the little map out there. Hope you can see that. There it is there. They've got a point of each spot to go to. I think all in all there's, let me check again. There's 45 spots that we've got to get to. I hope I can get it all. Hope I can get it all done before the witching hour. And that is getting back home in time to do a few school pickups. Let's get across Rowley Street here and then just turn back to the school, and I'll tell you a bit about that as per the guide that Burwood City Council has provided. Get my glasses out so I can see. Okay, the Methodist Ladies College was opened in 1886. It opened with 10 pupils. And in 1889, the name was briefly changed to Burwood Ladies College. And then a number of years later, it returned to MLC, Methodist Ladies College. Now, don't ask me what famous people went to school here, because I've got to get around to these 45 places. And it's going to be quite an effort to even do that. So let's get to the next spot. Southern Cross Catholic College. It says it was a Christian Brothers school for boys, opened by Cardinal Moran in 1910. Had 2 classrooms of 100 pupils. And it's now known as the Southern Cross Catholic College. There's an example of a Federation style home there that's part of the school now. As we make our way into Burwood Park here and hit off a few more historical spots in Burwood, we see the local people playing a bit of ping pong in the park at the fixed ping pong tables. They don't like to pick up the balls by the looks of it. like to have a good whack before they get around and pick them up. But I didn't mention earlier, as I get around today, I do so with a bit of a tied hamstring. I was on my daily run on Saturday and did my grand finale sprint as I normally do at the end of the run, and tweaked the hamstring a bit, so I'll be walking around a bit slower today. And on top of that, I didn't mention before, you can see by my hat, it's game day. The Niners are playing the Jets as we speak, so I've given up that game as well to do this little tour for you, hobbling around on my torn hamstring. So I hope it's worth it by the time we get to number 45. This obelisk here in Burwood Park, this is where the famous Burwood Villa stood. It was a house built by Alexander Riley around 1814 on the site of the Rowley Farm, which was the home itself. Unfortunately was demolished back in 1937, and this obelisk is the only thing remaining. If I can find an artist's rendition of the home itself, I'll whack that in the film here. Oh, here we are outside Tulloona. And it says in brackets later Rossmoyne, but it's got Tulloona written on the plaque outside the house. This was built in 1875 and is evidence of one of Burwood's grander houses. And apparently it's retained some of the historical plantings that it had in its gardens. So there you go, there's Tulloona. Lovely old sandstone fence. It looks like it's had the wrought iron in between replaced. There's the plaque, Tulloona. Some Guyamea lilies sprouting up here in its garden as well. I wonder what this little spot is here for. This has been built just for the electricity box. I wonder what it was back in the day. We find ourselves on the corner of Gloucester Avenue and George Street now, and here's a whole group of late Victorian terraces. So it's something you'd find in Paddington or Surrey Hills, right? But have a look at these ye old terraces being smothered by these massive apartment blocks now. Look at the old verandas and the old tin roofs. Some of them have become businesses. As we walk towards this rotunda here that you can see coming into frame, this rotunda was erected in 1902 and it was to mark the coronation of King Edward VII. I don't know whether this is the original one. I can see probably the brickwork's been updated over time, and probably the tiles on top as well. But yeah, 1902, at least a rotunda was erected here, so I don't know how much of this is original. But as we hit the rotunda, we might as well turn around and have a look at a bit more of Burwood Park and tell you a bit about history about Burwood Park. This land was granted to a Captain Thomas Rowley, who was part of the New South Wales Corps or Corp in 1799, and this is where he established Burwood Farm. It had a garden of 4 acres with upwards of 300 trees. And later in the 1880s, Burwood Council took control of it and turned it into the park that you can see today. Oh, the memorial arch is starting to come into view now. This was erected in 1923 on Anzac Day that year, and it's to commemorate the sacrifice of 937 servicemen and 4 nurses in the Great War. And no doubt they're probably people from who lived in the surrounding areas around Burwood and inside Burwood itself. And of course their names are inscribed on the arch itself. So let's walk through the arch. I can see one of my buddy's surnames on there, but no relation to him though, just the same name. Thanks be unto God who gave us the victory. There you go. The mayor at the time, with the surname Blair, was the one who erected it. As we walk towards the very busy Burwood Road now, we should be able to get a bit of a spurt on now, because all the different points from here on in are pretty close together. I wasn't expecting this as part of the tour, but this is the entrance of Westfield, Burwood, the Westfield shopping town. It occupies now the site which was formerly the Astor Cinema and Victoria Hall. And it once stood many residential dwellings and shops on this site. It was originally built in 1966, the shopping centre, and it was later replaced with what you can see today in the year 2000. Oh, we're staring across the road at Burwood Uniting Church. This is consecrated in 1869. It's saying here that fire destroyed the first building in 1879, and with the support of local parishioners it was rebuilt to the church that you can see today. It was designed by John Rowe and was built in 1880. Had a quite impressive steeple on it. Some lovely arched doors over there. Goes alright. I wonder what they got down there underneath in the bowels of the church. I wonder if they got some crypts down there. So we look out onto Burwood Road now from the church. You can see that there's an absolute ton of Asian businesses along Burwood Road. And Burwood's one of those suburbs in Sydney that has become very much a favourite spot for Asian immigrants. So you can find yourself some pretty decent tucker out here if you're fond of various cuisines from Chinese to Thai to Malaysian. You can come out to Burwood, especially if you like dumplings. Plenty of dumpling places around here. Oh, there it is, Club Burwood. Opened in 1878 as the Freemasons Hotel. Someone's yelling here, so I'm going to have to flip off. Here we are looking at the elevated railway bridge. Let's try that again. Constructed in 1892. And this bridge helped unify the north and south sections of Burwood. And the New South Wales State Heritage Register recognises this bridge as a rare example of a mainline single-span triple girder bridge. Whatever that means. I think there's a train now over the said bridge. But anyway, in behind that tunnel there, or underneath the tunnel, is the entrance to Burwood Railway Station, which I alighted from before. And there's also another old school rail building across the road there by the looks of it. So that's probably part of Burwood Railway Station as well. Burwood Hotel that you can see there, that's number 15. It was opened in 1862. This is one of the first hotels built to accommodate railway travellers, replacing the old coach-ins that used to dot this area to house people who were travelling between Sydney and over the Great Dividing Range out into the farms out west. Look at this skinny building built right on the railway line. And there she is, Burwood Plaza. This stands atop the site that used to be, which was Burwood's first theatre, opened in 1910. It was later replaced by the Palatial Theatre, which opened up in 1921. And then it was later demolished in 1978, where the old Burwood Plaza now sits. Burwood Plaza Shopping Centre. I don't know why they need to have two shopping centres, but there you go. You might be able to make out the street sign there. We're in Wynne Avenue, so named after Burwood's first elected mayor, who was Richard Wynne. And according to the council, he was instrumental in setting up Burwood as a municipal council in the first place. Oh, there she is, Burwood Public School. Not much written about this, so I can't tell you. But directly across the road is the council chambers for Burwood. A little bit of luck for HW. I've stumbled across stumbled upon the coffee shop that I was going to nectar at today anyway. Look, there's a guy with a rabbit. We're going to Pillar, just here. Let's get in there. I'll give you a quick squeeze inside Pillar. There's the skilled baristas lining up the coffees. I wish I had more time. These guys do a whole bunch of different coffees in here. Got pour overs, bit of stadium seating over there as well. But yeah, they do pour overs, they do all sorts of variants of coffee. The guy offered me a delicious creme brulee dessert, but I just don't have time. I'm only up to like 18 or 19 on the list out of 45. Gotta get my skates on. Oh, the flat white has arrived. There it is. apologies for the construction noise here out the back of Burwood Council. Here it is, a flat white. It's an interesting cup it comes in. Yeah, that's divine. Oh yeah. Oh, good on you, Pilar. Cheers. Just next to Burwood Park again. I got totally stitched up by this guide or map. I think where we were before the coffee, the Burwood Public School, and next to the council chambers, I think the school also has a primary school attached to it, and I think that's the School of Arts. So pretty much the same thing. But now we're heading towards the next spot, which is in Belmore Street or Belmore Road, and it's the Masonic Temple. Yeah, Belmore Street. This one I almost missed. I was looking on the other side of the road again because this map's a bit sketchy. But there it is, the Masonic Temple in Burwood. It says the imposing classical revival style of the Freemasons Masonic Temple, built in 1924 for Lodge 143, founded in 1886. And look at it now, I'm being dwarfed by these massive apartment buildings. I assume this is St. James's Presbytery Church, which was the next stop on the map. It looks like now it's called Burwood Presbyterian Church. Oh, there it is across the road. Burwood Post Office, built in 1892 in the Anglo-Dutch revival style. It has 4 stories with what's called a campanile tower or bell tower. The post office ceased trading in 1996 and is now a New South Wales State Heritage listed property. Here it's telling us, here's some really good examples of Federation style shop facades in Burwood Road here. Here we are in Burleigh Street in Burwood. Do you know whose house that is over there? Been looking forward to this. This is the home of the Young family of ACDC fame and also Easy Beats. So the brothers George, Malcolm, Angus all lived in that home. Imagine the music that was created in there. And then literally only a couple of doors up, they've put this sensational mural on the side of these Victorian terraces here. Malcolm and Angus with their guitars painted on the wall. And there it is across the road, the Burwood Police Station, built in 1900 in the Federation style. Looks like with a modern adornment on the front here to give the coppers a bit of shade when they walk in and out of the building. Apparently back in the day it had the service of 1 police constable, and the next nearest police station after that was Newtown. And for the Council of Burwood, local court matters were actually held in the council chambers that we had a look at before, until a courthouse was erected. So still a police station today, apparently, or part of said police station, modern version next door. You can see people walking past now in the distance. Few police cars in the street. Oh, here we are on the boulevard at St. Sabina's, the first Catholic college or school in Burwood. Founded in 1894, originally housed 7 students during the day, what they call day students, and 3 boarders. Now, I've filmed this premises before because this is actually an historical house here that's part of the school now, and it looks like both Strathfield and Burwood councils both claim this school and this building in their history. So maybe the borders for the councils moved around a bit over the time. Now this house across the road is called Wellings in 4 Woodside Avenue. It's a massive gate around it with security cameras everywhere. That's a gatehouse just there, that's that part of the property. But I'll try to film over the fence as I go past. I'll put my glasses on. Says this is a rare example of a timber gentleman's residence. The original part was most likely erected in the 1830s, and they said that gatehouse you see on the side there came a bit later. So let me get across the road and see if I can film over the fence for you, because it's an absolutely delightful property. Whoever owns it now doesn't like to be in the public view by the looks of things. Oh, here we are at St Paul's Anglican Church, designed by renowned architect Edmund Blackett, built in 1871. Remains one of the finest examples of Victorian Gothic style, apparently. Oh, look at this joint. The Priory. Built in 1877, the Priory is an excellent example of Victorian architecture. It features an expansive garden, a 3-storey decorated tower, and a 2-storey veranda with cast iron balustrades. Get another view of it down here in a sec. There we go, it's a good shot. And here's the next joint, Gayton. It's a 2-storey Victorian residence constructed of rendered brick in the 1880s. The property was at one time a maternity hospital, a hostel, and then a boarding house. Yes, beautiful place. St Cloud, 2-storey Victorian mansion built in 1893. Includes a 3-storey tower with copper dome. Oh, there it is, the Royal Sheaf Hotel, built in 1847, originally known as the New Inn, and then later becoming Islands Hotel in 1880. Then back to the Royal Shore. Then, oh no, that's the order. First it was the New Inn, then it was the Islands Hotel in 1880, and then it became the Royal Sheaf Hotel in 1944. It includes a 2-storey curved corner elevation and parapeted roof, whatever that means. So right on the corner of Liverpool Road and Burwood Road, the Royal Sheaf Hotel. I'm in a housing estate now called Appian Way, and it's regarded as one of Australia's finest private model garden estates. An outstanding example of the Edwardian style residential suburbs constructed between 1903 and 1911. And all around us in a big circle is these Federation style houses. Sorry, Edwardian style houses. No, Federation style houses. Geez, hard to follow this. I'm walking along. Yeah, so all of these joints, they go around in a big circle around that park that I was just facing. Our little tennis courts. Dog yapping in the background. Doesn't like HW walking through these leaves here. So yeah, all these Federation style houses dot around the outside of this tennis court arena. This joint over here is quite impressive with a hedge out the front. Again, this is one of these places I had no idea existed. I had no idea we had an Edwardian style housing estate with Federation houses in Burwood. But there you go. There's a whole bunch more of them there. All the way along the street there. That one over there with the yellow fence is quite impressive as well. So Appian Way in Burwood. Deolee, 1889. It's an early two-storey Federation style house with colonial Indian influences. See if I can get around the front and get a better view. I like the big veranda around the outside anyway. Hey guys, HW. I didn't make it yesterday to all 45 points of interest, so I'm back today for day 2 to finish them off. I've got about 10 to go, plus another one that I skipped yesterday. I skipped it because it was a bit further away from the other points of interest, so I'll do that today. I'll start off by doing that one first. But that'll obviously be slotted into a different part of the video. And so today the temperature is a bit warmer. It's 25 degrees Celsius as I walk down Railway Parade at Burwood here. And the wind's a bit stronger than yesterday, only slightly. It's 9 kilometres an hour and it's still from the east. So with the 25 degrees and the warmer temperature, it's probably going to add a bit of humidity coming off the ocean. So let's see if I can finish all 45 points of interest. A word of caution to anyone else that attempts this historical trail. Maybe think about starting early in the morning, because it's going to take you the whole day to do it. So let's get cracking. Oh, here we are at the historic Woodstock. Now let me get my phone and tell you a bit about this one. It was built in 1872. It's a 2-storey late Victorian Italianate villa, which was purchased by the council in 1982 and now forms part of the parkland that I'm standing on. Lovely big fountain out the front, and the parks extend all the way down that way. In Clarence Street, number 8 Clarence Street, Cranbrook, a late Victorian mansion built in 1898. Its grounds are a bit unkept, must be undergoing a bit of renovation at the moment. Number 6 Clarence Street, Burwood Federation Cottage, built in 1913. Linton, built in the Federation style in 1906 by an architect by the name of Stanley Richard. This is not easy to get a view of this one. This is Elam, 2-storey Queen Anne style residence constructed in 1905 with Flemish blonde red brick slate roof, large chimneys and decorative windows. Today Elam is a reception venue. It's a massive giant. And there's Cicada, built in 1836. Esperanza, built in 1894. Again, a bit hard to see. And here's Blair Park, named after the mayor. Froggatt Crescent, so named after Walter Froggatt, a lover of insects and publisher of Australian insect books. Yeah, as you can see by the sign, we've snuck into a bit of Croydon now. This is Croydon Primary School. It says it was opened by the Minister for Education, George Reed, in 1884, but then up on the school building it says 1883. So I don't know what the go is there. This is Shubra Hall inside Presbyterian Ladies College. Opened 1891, the school founded 1888. Well, that's it. My little excursion around Burwood is over. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed all the historical houses and some of the other historical points of interest. As you can see, I'm on the Iron Horse. And I'm heading back on the main line. I'm going to catch the main line up to Hornsby and then down the other end, down into the down to Chatswood. So until next time, I'll thank you for coming on the little skirt today, and I'll see you in the next vid. The video is over. And before you ask, I didn't go all the way to Burwood and not have something to eat. I ended up having some crispy chicken and noodles at a Cantonese joint.